Hello, good day. This particular Sunday is a bit different because it has fallen on November the 2nd, the commemoration of all the faithful departed. And so quite a few readings, the priest is able to choose quite a few readings. The ones that I'm going to read are the ones that are in the Missalette that we use here at this parish, St. Anthony's in Wilmington, Delaware. And it's called Today's Missal. First reading is Wisdom, chapter 3, verses 1 to 9. The second reading is Romans, chapter 6, verses 3 to 9. And the gospel reading is John, chapter 6, 37 to 40. Really what I'm going to concentrate on, come out of, is the statement in the gospel reading. It says, "For this is the will of my Father, that everyone who sees the Son and believes in him may have eternal life." Well, we don't actually see the Son, see Jesus himself physically. Jesus, when he said this, was talking to people who were looking at him. But we do, that second part, we believe in him so that we can have eternal life. What does it mean to believe in Jesus? It means to accept Jesus as God. Well, in turn, then what does that mean? Well, my understanding of God is God comes before everything else. That is, he was the creator of the universe. He came before anything existed. Before he created the universe, there was absolutely nothing else. Not even empty space. There were no planets, there were no stars, there were no living things. There was absolutely nothing else, or the capacity to hold anything else. There was only God. God created everything that is out of nothing. God did not need a Big Bang theory or any such thing. Now, I do believe that God creates nature, the natural course of things. And so that may be that he creates the world, in his creation of the world, he used that great cloud of gas, or the Big Bang, the big explosion. Nonetheless, whatever method God used in the nature that he had created, it was all God's creation. Before him, nothing existed. The second thing is, he is the source of all goodness. We cannot truly be good on our own. We don't have that capacity. Only God can enable us to be good. He lets us go through difficult times so that we have to come to him to get through it all and not just cruise through life on our own power. There is no such thing as having our own power. There is no such thing as being given a book of rules by God, and just with the book of rules alone, apart from God, going it on our own. That was really the claim of the Sadducees and the Pharisees and the elders. And he was there to tell them, no. Those things can help you, but you always need God. You need to always have God, because on our own, we're incapable of being good. But with God, we will and can be good. For us, it's impossible, but for God, nothing is impossible. The one statement I like to go back to in these readings is from the wisdom reading, where he says, "Chastised a little, they shall be greatly blessed, because God tried them and found them worthy of himself. As gold in the furnace, he proves them. He lets us go through difficult times so that we have to come back to him to get through it all and not just cruise through life on our own power. He proves us because he forces us to abandon just living on our own, but to come back to him, who is the only source of goodness. The second thing I like to point out is in Romans reading. We were indeed buried with him through baptism into death, so that just as Christ was raised from the dead by the glory of God, we too might live in the newness of life. Then skipping toward the end, if then we have died with Christ, we believe that we shall also live with him. We live with the crucified Christ. We die with him on the cross. In other words, I die to living my own life just on my own power. But I live the goodness that God has for me by living in his power. When I live in him, I become a new person, capable of becoming a saint, a holy person, because it's he who makes me holy. And I cooperate with him. I work with him in the mission of being a holy person. So that now I'm a person who dies and goes to heaven. Because only by being a saint can I go to heaven. Only saints live in heaven. But I'm enabled to be a saint because I'm enabled by God to give me sanctity, to give me the fullness of grace that gives me the right to go to heaven because he has enabled me. God bless you. God bless us all in our wonderful adventure of going on our way through this life to heaven.